Well,
Absolutely.
congratulations on everything you have going on business wise. I know that Pulse is making big waves and heating up the market, no pun intended, or
I
pun
love
intended.
that.
But you're doing such great things, but you didn't start in this space. You have quite the background. So I want to get into what Pulse is, but first, where did you start up and where did you come from?
Well, I have had a long background building brands in the outdoor sports and sporting goods world. And it's really prepared me for what I'm doing now because these are companies, Nike, K2, Burton, that have been focused not only on building really superior products, but creating really extraordinary consumer experience. And that's what it's all about. So my background has been building brands, growing brands, turning brands around, but always elevating consumer experience with really superior products.
So how did you come across Pulse or the need or the idea? I mean, I feel like everybody that's gotten into this space, whether it's sexual wellness or menopause or midlife, they had that aha moment somewhere. They were driving in their car, they were, talking on the phone, they were in a group with women, or they just, found a white space and found the need.
Oh, yeah, big white space. I say Pulse is the one amazing result of menopause. I mean, menopause, and I've, had the opportunity to listen to a lot of your conversations with your other guests and the experience that we've all gone through when we hit this milestone. Let's call it a milestone.
I
I don't
like
know if it's
that.
a welcomed milestone, but it's a milestone.
It's a mile. We don't
And
forget it. So that's a milestone.
we don't forget it. And it really is, for me, the first time anything really altered how I felt about my age ever. And, it sort of snuck up kind of gradually. And then all of a sudden, the faucets completely turned off, so to speak, lubrication wise. Saw my doctor. Amy, welcome to your new normal. New normal? Who wants that to be their new normal?
No,
And
no.
I was really so curious about here's half the population that's going to be moving through this phase of their life. And really, there has not been more in terms of solutions. Anyhow, for me, it was a non hormonal solution that the doctor recommended, which was lubricants. Just start using more lubricants. Well, I just couldn't believe that in lubricants being on the market in more than 100 years, that there's been no improvement to the whole experience. Products, yes. I was surprised at the poor, harmful ingredients that were in so many of them, but the entire
Hmm.
experience of lubricant use was just so archaic.
Yeah. Yep. And I also think just an afterthought too, right? Just kind of an afterthought.
Yeah, an afterthought. I mean, I always say if a man went through menopause, oh, this would have been advanced at a much faster rate than it has been. And in fact, when men hit their midlife milestone, they have a little pill to take. It's very invisible, very discreet. And of course, it then results in women or their women partners then even having more challenges with going through their own phase of change. So for me, it was about, I just couldn't, I just was really struck by how there was no more elevated experience had been created. So I actually hired a PhD to talk to 300 to 400 women. I wanted to really understand, was this me? Or really, was this a big white space? And to a person, Tamsen, everybody had pain point issues, whether it was like for me, cold or
Hmm.
messy, unhygienic,
Hmm.
crusting
Hmm.
tubes, the ingredients. And that really lit the spark for me. Okay, we're ready for a transformation to reinvent this whole experience.
Right. Right. So if people don't have a pulse or they're looking online right now and they're Googling frantically, what is the pulse machine or a device and how does it work? Because I find it to be very discreet. Oh, there you go. Thank you.
It is very discreet. And actually, I had some great inspiration from products that exist in everybody's household and everybody's lifestyle. One being Nespresso for its really elegant functional, uh, transformational change. I mean, remember the days that we all had Mr. Coffee or percolators. You
Sure.
couldn't have an individual cup of coffee that was personalized. It was messy. You had to do a whole pot and then clean it out. Nespresso changed all that with personalization, one cup at a time, on demand, very elegant. And
Mm-hmm.
that's exactly how Pulse functions because, like Nespresso and Nespresso capsules, we have Pulse and Pulse pods.
I love
And
you
it
for that.
operates very much the same way. And of course, it's got very simplistic modern beauty, just like Apple. So we really combined a lot of those inspirations in this product. And we've also eliminated all those awful, disgusting, unpleasant pain points. So for lubricant use that's been cold on application, ooh, buzzkill cold, this now warms it comfortably at perfect temperature. It dispenses just by motion control activation. It's completely hygienic and clean. We're not dealing with crusty old tubes that are hidden away in the drawer. Now there's a beautiful device that sits and operates also like a nightlight because you can
Yep.
change your colors on it to fit your mood.
Yep.
And really, I would say this is the menage a trois you want in your relationship.
I love it. You've got all the marketing terms that make it very exciting. But first, when you compare it to an espresso maker, that's you've got me sold. So let me ask you a question. You are in some major stores. Were you surprised by that? Were you surprised by the willingness to do that? Because I feel like this is still pretty new to, big department stores and to places that, you have to go, hey, I've got this device, it's not a purse. It's not a pair of shoes. It's not a beauty, it's not a face cream. That's a whole new
Well,
category.
it's been a long time coming, right? And I think we have four very premium retail partners, the best in class, and they're run with heads of marketing and merchandising that are women. And they've decided it is time for us to embrace, under the category of beauty and self care, sexual wellness and intimate care. And so we've been thrilled. So Nordstrom was our first partnership. They began with Care Down There as their category under beauty. We were one of their first 6 brands that they launched with. Goop came to us and has just been an exceptional partner for us. Saks, Bloomingdale's, we're just thrilled. So aside from our own website, lovemypulse.com, and Amazon, we're also featured and embraced by 4 of the best in the country.
It's just incredible. So where do you go from here, or where do you see things going? Are there other products, or I know you don't stop just here, Amy.
This is just the beginning. And one of the beauty of building a product as an entrepreneur is sometimes you just don't know how it's going to evolve. And when you think about the benefits of touchless dispensing of warmed, contamination-free fluids, and you can interchange your pods and without any mess, any cleanup, this now becomes very applicable to other personal care categories. So from here, look for us to go into baby care, men's grooming, skin care, wound care. The opportunities are endless, quite frankly, because this is transforming a human consumer experience around how they use formulations that have only been offered out of tubes and bottles and have all sorts of issues with that. So we're going to transform the lives of many when they have a convenient, comfortable, and clean experience with their products.
I just
Really
love it.
exciting.
It really is exciting, and I think I've talked a lot about low libido, but this is an area of confidence for women, and I feel like once we're not just admitting that menopause is not a dirty word, but we're also talking about the fact that low libido is something that we can work on, and we need to work on and be aware of, and not be ashamed of. I feel like we're going to be in a whole other place in 5 years or 10 years, or for the next generation that comes up.
Well, when you think about how we've added to this excitement, even with a low libido, and how to sort of ratchet that up, one of the really wonderful aspects that we've heard from our consumers is because of this lighting that features 6 different colors, couples can almost create their own language with it, right? It
Hmm.
becomes fun. It becomes an enhancement. So one person's sunrise, which is red basically,
Right.
can be, okay, baby, I'm ready. For the other, it might be, I'm going to have this light on in the bedroom, and it
Right.
means not so much in the mood tonight. So you can create what you're in the mood for, or
Wow.
are you in
Okay.
the mood? And it becomes a love language, so to speak.
I just love it. Amy, I can't wait to see what's next with what you're doing. Okay, so if people are looking for a pulse, where can they find it? Where can they find you and some more information about what's to come?
Well, always first come to our website because you'll learn the most and see a full array of products, and that's lovemypulse.com. And actually, for holiday, we're going to be offering a wonderful special of our Pulse device, which comes beautifully packaged. And we're going to give away a free Joy kit, a travel kit of 3 of our pods with it. But we can also be found on Amazon.com. We can be found Nordstrom, Goop, Bloomingdale, Saks. But always come to lovemypulse.com first. You'll learn the most and see the most.